Hey guys, I wanted to highlight today that there are many stages that we transition through after a Kundalini awakening. And what's really interesting about these stages is that at the beginning, they sort of all feel like the one. Like, oh my God, I actually get it. I understand the way life works. I understand what our role is, our purpose is here, and everything kind of just makes sense. Except it doesn't stop there. It just keeps happening and keeps expanding, and more insights come, and more learning and more teaching develops within you. I wanted to highlight today just one that's been brought into my field that I'm becoming aware of is, quite a prominent one, and it brings me back memories of when I was in this stage. And even like I've done YouTube videos in this stage. And it's one that's kind of the God complex. And what I mean by that is when we view ourselves as all knowing and to the point where we can project that part of ourselves onto others and onto the world. And I don't see any of these stages as bad or wrong. I see them all as necessary stages that we go through on the journey after awakening. Because to first become aware of that which you are, you kind of have to step into a bit of that role. And a lot of us may have had low self-worth or low confidence, and it kind of assists with that in some roundabout way. And it allows us to learn that it's okay to express ourselves, that we, do have a place in the world, and that things are greater than what we thought they were, and that we are, you can often feel above people, but that we are worth more than we perhaps believed that we were before. So I do believe that it's a necessary stage. However, it's also one to be mindful of, I think, in the processing of what's actually occurring. So I don't know, it's just coming into the field lately to express that the only guide we will ever have is ourselves. And during this God complex kind of stage, we can feel like we are the one who's supposed to tell everybody how it's supposed to be, or the one who, guides people or teaches people. Now, this may be true. It can definitely be part of your role, and having Kundalini awakened pretty much means you will be basically doing this in one way or another. But where it's coming from is the difference, because when it's coming from this stage of God complex, it's a very telling, projecting, unempowering deliverance in how we express this part of ourselves. So it's not saying that what we're saying is wrong, incorrect information. It's about how we're delivering it to the person, or how we're relaying this information that's coming through. Because with the lens of the God complex, we can be very forceful in the way that we are telling people things. And I had an experience once, I may have mentioned it on another video, where I kind of was in a shopping center, and it was like I saw speech bubbles above everyone's heads. And I could actually tap in and see exactly what was going on with each person that I looked at. Now, originally, when I received these sort of insights or visions, I believed it was somewhat my role to do something about it, to let people know what I saw and what's going on with them so that they can work on it or fix it or whatever. However, I soon became aware that that wasn't my role at all. And just because we can see and observe and receive information doesn't necessarily mean that it's our role to relay it or fix it or help or do anything about it, to be honest. So I guess what I wanted to express in this is that, being kind and loving to ourselves and realizing that everyone else is us also. And if we're seeing people going through struggles in life and we're seeing what they're coming up against, there's a big chance that it's also present within our lives. And it's also, for me, a really beneficial opportunity to be able to see the God self in another. Because obviously, the way my experience has led me to believe is that we are all connected and we are all one. So when this person is going through this experience, it would be really simple and easy for me to, somewhat like a psychic, is to go and say, oh, you've got this, and going on, and you can do it with this, and you can just fix that right up. Now, it's pretty, people can get quite taken back with this information. It's like you've just aired all their dirty laundry and you can see it, and it can be quite threatening. So I highly recommend not approaching it that way. Each to their own. If that's what happens, that's what happens. However, I didn't find that this way of delivering insight was very beneficial for anyone, including myself. But traveling through the God complex stage is one that takes a great level of awareness, because often, like what I said, we had low self-worth or low self-esteem. It can be a part where we really want to cling to, because for the first time in our lives, we may feel of importance and we may feel like our role here is extremely beneficial, which it is. However, so is everybody else's role here. And I guess learning and becoming aware of delivering this beautiful gift that we all have, and that is expanding in a more encouraging and empowering way, to allow the other person to become aware of that which exists within them, rather than telling them what's there. Because people don't tend to listen when they're being told, but when they're discovering something about themselves, they allow themselves to move past their limitations and expand into the truth of that which they are. So I hope this helped. See ya.